You wanna go, you wanna leave. So baby, come and get away with me. You wanna go, you wanna leave.
Are you guys afraid of failure? Do you want to be successful in life? Well, we're going to study this subject right here because my testimony touches on a lot of this stuff, you know. I was born and raised in a poor household, and I achieved a lot, you know, even when, as I look back, it was like I had no hope, you know, but over the years I've achieved everything I wanted to achieve. And there's a reason for all this, you know. Even if you're born in a poor household doesn't mean you're always going to be poor. Even if you got a job you're working that you don't really like doesn't mean you can't get the job that you want. You know, it all depends on, you know, if you believe you can get it. A lot of people out there in the world, they want a better job, but they're afraid. They're afraid of failure. You know, they want that better job, but they're afraid, man, what if I fail, you know? What if I don't make it? Well, failure ain't that big of a deal. We all fail in life. Think about this. Think about when you're just a baby and you're learning how to walk, a little toddler, you know, and you fall down a lot, right? But the babies, they keep getting back up and keep trying again. That's the same thing with life. It's the same thing. If you want to start a business one day, you just go out there and you try to do it. You try to make it happen. You step forward and you go after your desires and your wants in life. And you know, if you fail at it, so what? Who cares? Just get back up and you do it again. Start with a different business model, a different business idea. Any one of you guys could be successful. Anyone. And that's one main reason why I'm making my videos, is to inspire people. You know, because I grew up poor. If you go back and listen to my testimony, you know, my life was a wreck when I was young, in my teenage years. And I was headed nowhere in life. I wasn't heading towards success or nothing like that. But I've achieved everything over in my life that I've wanted to achieve. And I still have more goals and plans that I want to achieve down the road. So it's not like I'm ever stopping. And that's who I am as a person. You know, I want to achieve everything I can achieve because I know I only have one life to live, you know. And that's the thing. Any one of you guys could achieve whatever you want in life. The only thing that's holding you back is because you're afraid. You're afraid that you're going to fail. You're afraid that you're not going to make it. What if this happens? What if that happens? Well, if you really want something in life, you're just going to have to step forward and go after it. When I wanted to be a weld inspector, there was friends and family that denied me and fed me the wrong kind of information. They said, oh, I don't think you're going to make it. Oh, don't even try. Did I listen to them? Nope, I shut them out, you know, because I knew anything was possible then. I've already achieved a lot by then, and I knew it was possible. So I didn't even listen to what they were trying to tell me. And I just went after my dreams and my desires, whether I was going to fail or not. You know, even if I would have failed, I would have just picked myself back up and tried again. Just like walking. Just pick yourself up and try again. What would happen if you were trying to learn how to walk and you fell down the first time and just never tried again? You'd be 30, 40 years old crawling around on the floor like a little baby. No one's even out here in the world doing that. You know, the only people that are afraid of things are adults. Kids aren't afraid to try anything. Kids are not afraid, and that's why they learn so quickly. But as they get up into adulthood, you know, people start getting afraid. They start getting comfortable with their jobs. Take, for example, if you're working at a factory and they're paying you $10 an hour, and your friend comes out and says, hey man, I could get you a job at this other place, and they're starting out at 20, topping out at 40, or whatever the case may be. Well, that person that's making $10 an hour is thinking, well, that's a good deal. But then he gets another thought saying, well, what if I don't make it? What if I fail? You know, I'm going to walk away from this job and just take this big risk. You know, what if I don't make it? Then I can't come back here. I can't work here. You know, I don't know. I'll lose some of my stuff. I'll lose my cars. I'll lose my house. I'll lose, my TVs I bought, whatever they have on credit. They're afraid. That's what it comes down to. They don't step forward and go after those bigger jobs and bigger plans and desires because they're afraid. They're afraid that, what if I fail? What if I fail? I don't want to fail. You got to get that out of your mind and you have to go after it. Perfect example right here. I got laid off back in August of 2017. And I just wanted to stay home and relax and spend time with my daughter and just relax, for a little while and just think about life, take life easy. And so I did that for a few weeks, like 3 weeks or so, and then I just figured maybe I'll start up a paint company. So within 2 days, I started up a paint company, had a website up and running, was registered with the Secretary of State. LLC company. I was insured. I had my federal EIN number for taxes. I already had the apps on my phone so I could write out proposals. I had pictures and I already knew how to paint, so it was no big deal. I didn't understand how to put together the business model. But I was able to do all this because my drive in life. Any one of you guys could do this. All I did was sit down and research and pour over information and look what I had to do. What were the steps? How do I get this started? How do I start getting work? How do I get jobs? Everything was done in 2 days. I was up and running in 2 days. I had business card sent to my house. I had a logo. I had everything, for this paint company. And it was started in 2 days. Next thing you know, I started painting houses. Just to pass by time, just for something fun to do, not because I needed to do it, not because I had to do it. We save up our money, we're decent with our money, we pay attention. I didn't have to go to work, I didn't have to do none of this for a while, but I chose to do it. I chose to do it just to see how long it would take me, see if it was possible. It all come together quickly. Any one of you guys can do this. Now this is a crazy story I'm going to tell you right here, because after I created this company, this paint company, I was the only one painting the houses. It's my company, I want to start it. I didn't want to hire nobody or nothing like that. I just wanted to paint houses by myself, just for something to do, make some extra cash kind of deal. Well, I started getting calls on pretty decent sized jobs where I was going to need more people. So I got on Craigslist and I called some other painters to see if they're interested in coming to help me on some of these jobs, and I would, give them a certain amount of money. Well, I ran across this kid named Victor, and he was a younger Hispanic male, he was maybe about 24, 25, and I was 34 at the time. And so he met me on this job, and I was already working up the bid myself. I was taking measurements and I already had a price figured out, for this whole job. I just wanted him to meet me there and look it over and see if he was interested in helping me on this job, right? And he said yes. So I submitted the bid, and I ended up getting the bid and everything like that, but they wanted to hold off a few months before we started the work. Well, during this time, I was getting a lot of jobs, and I just barely met this guy named Victor. And so I got some other jobs after that big bid. It was a church, they wanted to paint the outside of a church. And it was all brick, but they wanted to paint it white. And so I had some other big jobs also after that. And I contacted him, just to test him out, see what kind of work he done and stuff like that. And I ended up utilizing him on a few other jobs, and I paid him well, and even when he said he wanted a certain price, I felt generous, so I gave him more, because if he's helped me with the job, I don't want him to make a low amount of money. I want him to make more money, Everybody wants more money. We all want more money. Well, as me and Victor start talking with each other, he was telling me that he was just painting for other contractors, and one day he had plans of starting his own painting business. And I told him, I said, well, if you stick with me, I'll help you start your own painting business. And he's all, really? You would do that? I said, yeah, absolutely. I'll teach you how to do it. And so as more and more time went by, he starts picking my brain, and I'm just sharing information with him, you know. And then we get to the point where I'm starting to take him through the steps of what to do, how to establish it, how to get cards ordered, business running, you know, license, LLC, branding, logo, just all this different stuff. And I'm working with him on all this stuff, you know, helping him get his paint company started up and running. And the reason I did this is because he wanted it. He asked me and he wanted it. You know, a lot of people, they're afraid to start their own business, you know. If they see someone else run a business, you know, just go up and ask that guy questions. Hey, how do you start this? How do you do this? I'm sure that guy will share it with you, unless he's greedy and doesn't want you to know. You know, but I'm the kind of guy that wants everybody to grow and prosper. Me, look at my testimony. You know, look where I come from. I want everybody to grow and prosper. There's enough money for all of us out here. There's enough for every one of us. We just have to not be so afraid and step forward and go after it. So long story short, I'm helping him set up his own business on the side. You know, I'm telling him what to do and walking him through the steps, and he's doing it. He's not being afraid, and he's doing all this stuff. Well, Victor, he's struggling in life, you know. He lives in a poor household, you know, him and his mom and his brother. And I know they're struggling. You could just tell by the house they live in, and you could tell he's struggling big time. And so I really want him to succeed, and you know, that's another reason why I'm helping him also, you know, just because I know he ain't got nothing, you know. And he has dreams, he has desires, you know. And that just grips me in my heart, you know, just to help someone like that, you know. Because if they're willing and they're honest and they really want it and they go after it, they could achieve it. Anybody could achieve it. So after I ran my paint company for a little while, I started working at an aircraft company as an inspector. And I stopped painting houses. Like, I'd have people call me all the time. Hey, can you do some painting? Can you give me bids? And I ain't got the time, you know. And I would shut them down or whatever. And so finally, this happened like maybe 3 weeks ago or something like that. Some guy called me up on a big job, and he's wanting me to go give a bid. And it's like a $350,000 house. And I told him from the get-go, I ain't gonna be able to do it because I work too many days. But I says I do know some other contractors. Well, I hit up Victor, you know, and I gave him this contract. And I wasn't trying to skim no money off the top or anything. I just wanted him to prosper all the way out, you know. I wanted him to make money for him and his family, his mother, you know. I want him to have a better life. And so, you know, I relayed the job to him. He doesn't really know that much about bidding, and a couple of his jobs he bid, you know, he failed on them or didn't make that much of an income. And I told him, well, your next job, if you get this job or they let you bid it, I'm going to help you work through this bid. And he says, right on, you know. And so I'm sharing all my knowledge with him because, you know, I want him to make it. I want him to get some money, you know. And so during this whole job, like, it's a $350,000 house here in Kansas. A lot of square footage. And first they says they just want to bid on the interior painting job. And so he goes over there, and I told him just take all the measurements, you know, and then come back and I'll help you work this bid out, and I'll show you what to do, what to look for, all the ins and outs and all the details. And so he takes all the measurements, and at the same time they says, oh, well, by the way, we want the outside, you know, a bid on the outside too. So he took all the measurements of the outside too. And then they says, oh, by the way, we want the interior of the garage painted. It's a 3-car garage, and we want 2 coats. Go ahead and take measurements on that. Oh, and then by the way, we want you to take measurements on our kitchen island, because we want that stained and, you know, painted with lacquer and stuff like that. And so he takes measurements, and he's coming back like, oh man, they're throwing all kinds of work at me. And I says, well, this is what you asked for. This is what you wanted, right? He's all, yeah. And I says, well, here we go. I'm going to help you work through the bid. So I help him work through the bid and everything like that. And we wait a few days. And then the guy replies back and says, I'm going to choose you to work on this job. Now he's gonna make a lot of money on his job because there's so much work, But the thing I'm getting at with this whole story is, he even sent me a text message and says, thank you for all your help. You're such a blessing. You're such an awesome guy. Thank you for all your help. And I says, dude, I just want you to grow. I just want you to succeed. I want everything that's good for you, you and your family, because you deserve it. Anything you want in life, you can go out there, you can get it. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter where you grew up at. You could get it. And one thing I want to mention is, you have to listen to people that are mentors sometimes, If there's a guy that knows a lot more about you, ask him questions. Ask him, don't be afraid, ask him questions. How do you do this? How do you do that? Humble yourself down and ask him. Don't go out there and act like you know everything. Just humble yourself and ask. And I'm sure they'll share their knowledge with you. But if you go up to him and just act like you know it all already or whatever, well, he ain't going to be willing to share his information with you. I'm sure that they want you to grow also, Older gentlemen or people that have been in the business for a while. They want people to grow also because they're already making good money and they want to see other people prosper too. But a lot of you guys are stuck in a mindset like, oh, I'll never make it. I just don't think that I can make it. Maybe so-and-so did, but I don't think I can make it. Well, you got to block that out of your mind. No matter what negativity anybody brings your way, you just got to shut that down and not listen to no negative advice whatsoever. And you got to reach for the people that are giving you good advice. It warms my heart so much that Victor got this job and he started his business and he got everything established. Man, there's no other feeling like that. It's not about me making money off of Victor. It's not about that. I've done everything I did to help him for free. And he says all the time, man, I owe you so much. And I says, you don't owe me nothing. And I says, I want you to succeed. I want you to make it in life. I want you to make something of yourself. You just have to believe in yourself. You just have to believe that it's possible. It's not on me. I'm just here sharing my information. You just have to believe that it's possible and you could do it. Another story. One of my friends, his name is Curtis. I joined the union back in 2005. By the time 2007 rolled around, I was making money that was unbelievable to me, like money I never thought I could reach in life. I was making it 2 years later, and I was telling them all the time, man, you need to get on with the union, you need to do this, you need to do that, you can make a lot of money, here's what you need to do. And he was with me the whole time hanging out, and I would show him the money I was making. I would show him the new cars I was buying. Back then I had a Audi A6, a nice beautiful car. I had a crotch rocket, had a nice house, had a lot of money. A lot of stuff was going good for me, and I would show him, this is what you can make. This is what you can do. I want this for you. And he would just say, yeah, I know. Yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, maybe one day. But the thing is he was afraid. So he never went after it. Finally, 2017 rolls around. And he finally goes and applies for the union and gets hired on, my friend Curtis, and he starts an apprenticeship. Now, I've been talking to him since way back in 2007, so this 2017, this is 10 years later. 10 years later, he finally gets on with the union. And I asked him one day, I says, what took you so long? Why didn't you join this a long time ago? I've been telling you about it for years. And you know what he told me? He says, well, I was afraid I wasn't going to make it. And I was like, what makes you think that? So there it comes down to. It comes down to being afraid. Well, if we compare me and Curtis, he went through school and he actually graduated. Me, I dropped out in the 10th grade. He had the upper hand on me. But as life progressed, I decided I want to try the union out and go that route. He went through those Lowe's distribution classes with me, He was actually the one that asked me to go. That was his idea, so I went. But he's telling me that he wasn't afraid he was going to make it. He wasn't afraid. Or he was afraid that he wasn't going to make it. And I just told him, dude, you can't be afraid. I says, never think that. Never think that, you're not going to make it. And if you try something out and you don't make it, who cares? Try again or pick something different. It's just like walking, like I've explained before. Any one of you guys can get up. Get out there and get this money. If you want to start a business, start a business. If you don't know how to start a business, start researching it. Get online. Look online. Each one of you guys have a smartphone in your pocket. And there's all kinds of answers right there. Pull out that, instead of getting on Facebook and wasting your time with meaningless stuff. If you want to start a business, start a dang business. Go after it. You want to start an internet site? Start an internet site. You want to start a supplement company? Start a supplement company. You want to start a clothing line? Start a clothing line. Anything is possible. You just have to believe in yourself and go do it. Don't be afraid of failure. A lot of people talk about Bill Gates and how rich he was. Well, they don't know the backstory. Don't you know he worked every day of his life for 10 years straight while he was trying to develop Microsoft? And it all paid off. You don't see all the work he put in behind the scenes. You don't see none of that. You just see, oh, he's worth all these billions. What a lucky guy. But you don't understand the work he had to put in to get all that. To get all that, what he wanted to get. The thing is, me making these videos, you're seeing the finished product right here. But you're not seeing the countless hours where I'm sitting down, researching how to make better videos, researching how to edit these videos. You're not seeing me compress these videos. You're not seeing me just all this different technology that's involved with these videos. My audio, my video, my lighting. You're not seeing any of this. You're just seeing the finished product. If I really took a picture from the other side and everything that I show you what goes into making these videos, you'd be like, oh, that's too much time. I'm not going to do this. But I'm not doing this for me, guys. I'm doing this for every one of you out there. I want every one of you guys to make it. But it's up to you. Do you really want to make it? Do you really want to be somewhere in life? Are you happy with where you're at? Or do you want more? These are the questions you got to ask yourself. And if you're not happy with where you're at, try to do something different. Don't be afraid. Because if you're going to be afraid, you'll just be held in one spot. And you won't get what you desire. I'm just here telling you the truth. That's what's stopping a lot of people from success, is they're afraid. They're afraid of failure. That's exactly what it is. They're afraid. Think about a girl that you desire. Or if I'm talking to a girl, think about a man you desire, Think about someone you desire to be with. Say like you meet someone and they're a really attractive person. And you would really like to date this person or meet him or something like that. But you never talk to him. Well, how do you think you're ever going to be able to try to take them out on a date or even see if they're in a relationship or anything? You have to talk to them. Well, they're afraid. They're afraid to go up and talk to that person. And so that in return, they never find out. They never pop in the question. They never ask, nothing. That's people's main problem. They're afraid. And it comes down to laziness too. You want things in life, you got to put in the work. Just like my associate's degree, when I got that, I was coming home after work and working on my associate's degree. And if I had all my schoolwork done, then I would have some time to myself. But other people, they don't see it from that point of view, because they come home and they're like, well, I don't really want to learn nothing new, or I don't want to go to school. I just want to sit down in front of the TV. What good is that going to do? And they think that one day, they see these people with fancy cars, nice houses, stuff like that. And they think, oh, maybe one day I'll have that. It sure would be nice to have that. and they rely on the lottery or something like that. But if you just put some effort into it, got out there and went after your dreams and desires and start working towards them, start working your goals, then you'll totally understand that anything's achievable. You just got to get out there and do it. You have to believe in yourself, and you have to not be afraid of failure. If you can master those two things, believe in yourself and don't be afraid of failure, then you will succeed. You will get the life you want. And that's what it takes. That's what it takes to be successful. So, I'll catch you guys on the next video. See you later. Stay up.